let's discuss about the importance of human resource management to answer those people who says that HR has nothing to do. And many people also has a feeling that there is no career in HRM, or you have a very few options in HRM. So let's understand it in details today. Basically, in this competitive world, human resource management is one of the critically important, department in any organization to compete in this global market where diversity is there, where people are coming from different culture, different society, where people have a different mindsets. So this is very much important in every organization. When we talk about the main task, or when we talk about the meaning of the human resource management, we say that human resource management is managing the employees, managing the human resource in the organization. But human resource management is much more than only looking after the hiring process of the human resource, or training the human resource present in the organization. Basically, you can copy the techniques, you can copy the resources which other organizations are using. Say, for example, some organization is using a particular machinery for the production. Even you can buy it from the market. It is only the talent of the human which you cannot separate from that particular human. You cannot separate a human from their brain, right? So basically, this is only the factor which you cannot copy the talent of somebody. You can learn from somebody, but you cannot copy the talent of somebody, which makes human resource management the most important department in any organization. Because it is rightly said that organizations may replicate processes, materials, and structures of other successful organizations, but only the talent of an organization makes it unique and distinguishes it from all of its competitors, right? So the lot of the employees which you have, the potential of the employees, the motivation of the employees which you have cannot be copied by any other organization, right? So basically, human resource management plays a vital role in any organization, right from hiring the people or hiring the right candidate at the right time, at the right place in any organization. Hiring doesn't mean only filling the position or the vacant position in the organization, but hiring means selecting the right person for the right position at the right time and at the right place. Now, another is training does not only mean that you are training somebody to work in a more better way, but it is much more than that. It is about creating the willingness among the employees, motivating the employees, and making the employees engaged in your organization for doing the better work, for working extra mile. Basically, see, you will get lots of talent for your organization, especially in a country like India, where there are huge number of supply. When you post one vacant position in your organization, hundreds of applications you will receive, right? You are going to receive hundreds of applications for that particular position. But then again, to select the right person among those 100% is totally dependent on the skills of the human resource manager. Okay, what kind of steps they are following and how they are able to hire the right person matters a lot. And even after hiring, the hired person might have the degree, might have the knowledge, but again, it is not necessary that the hired person give his best to the organization until and unless the human resource management department, strives from their side to make him do his best. And how does the human resource management does it? They actually, engage the employee through several means, like planning the incentives, giving them the perks, the benefits, planning for their recognitions like awards, or giving them some exotic benefits within the organizations, maybe the sports facilities or so many, right? So basically, the role of the human resource management is not only hiring the people, or it's not only, checking their performance or evaluating their performance, but it is much more than all of these. Basically, this is to retain the employees, the talented employees in the organization. The human resource management department plays a vital role in retaining the talented employees in the organization and make them put their effort to the extent where they put their discretionary effort to achieve the goal of the organization. The human resource management department plays an important role to align the goal of the organization along with the objective of the individual employee, right? So this is very important, and human resource management plays a very important role in any organization. So it is also important to note that HR professionals often progress to higher levels in an organization, and a career in HR can lead to a position as CEO. Even when you talk about the career in HR, right from starting from a low level of HR executive, HR assistant to the position of the CEO, and HR can even take the place of a CEO in any organization. So there is no stoppage in the career of the HRM. They rightly, if they are starting from the HR assistant position, but one day they might reach to the position of the CEO. So if any questions, you can feel free asking the questions. You can put up your questions in the chat box. I'm coming to what is HR generalist, Srishti. So when I'm coming to the careers in HR, I'll be discussing about the HR generalist. So please wait for a few minutes. Is my voice cracking for everyone?
No, Seema. Priya, could you please try rejoining the meeting? I believe it might be your internet or a glitch of some sorts. तो आप एक बार फिर से meeting को join करके try कर.
That's okay, Priya? Okay, and the questions which you are putting in the chat box, maybe many questions are getting missed, so you don't worry. At the end of the session, we will be having Q&A session, question and answer round. So out there, you can come up with your questions, you can note it down, and we will be answering all of your questions, right? So now let's discuss about the careers in HR. So before discussing the career in HR, let's first understand the key personal attributes required for an HR manager. So first, I would like, Sunil has written, from where I can start my career. Yeah, Sunil, I'm coming to the point, career. I'm coming to this topic, and then you will be very clear how to start and, what are the advantages and how you should work in the HR career. So don't worry. First of all, before talking about the career in HR, let's understand the key personal attributes. For every job, there should be some personal attributes. So likewise, even for an HR manager, there are certain key personal attributes. So first of all, I would like to question you all. As according to you all, what do you think should be the key attributes of the HR manager?
Can also try and think beyond the list that you're, looking at, because I realized कि हमने थोड़ा सा पहले ही बता दिए सारे points. But yes, do try and think, from your own real life experiences.
Yes, Srishti has written communication skill, team management, leadership skill. Okay. Freshers also can become HR, Shikha. I'll come to all your points. Whatever points you have put up in the chat box, I'm going to discuss all these points in my upcoming slides. Listening skills. Okay, you have written lots of skills, and even I have written lots of skills here. So we know a few common skills, like, okay, the good communication has to be there. Why the good communication has to be there? Because the HR manager are going to interact with all the human resource, be it a labor in the organization, or be it any individual employees in the organization. Their main work or main task is to talk with the people within the organization. Now, apart from talking within the organization, their role also is outside the organization. While they hire the people from outside the organization, while they interact with the candidates, they need to interact, right? So the communication skill of the HR has to be very good. Now, when we talk about good communication skill, what is good communication skill? It is about understanding the language of the opposite person and speaking as per their understanding. Good communication doesn't mean that you are using a very good vocabulary in your language. But here, good communication skill means you are communicating to the candidate or to the employees or to the people as per their understanding. You are able to make them understood what you are speaking. That is, we are talking about communication skill, and it also includes the body language which you are using. Say, for example, the HR manager looks after the grievances of the employees. Now, the body language which you are showing, say, for example, one employee has come to you to ask about, some important points, or maybe he is into some problem or grievances. So the body language which you are showing while listening to that particular person matters a lot. If you are very impatient, if you are not listening to him, or if you are making the faces while listening to a particular labor, that will make a very bad impact that HR is not good, or they are not ready to understand our problem. So this is the way how you have to make yourself, and these all are the key attributes. Apart from that, emotional intelligence, which plays a very important role in the HR, because an HR has to be able to understand the opposite person's thinking, what kind of lines he want to listen with me currently. A person might come to you in a very furious mood, so you have to understand that this person is in a furious mood, and with the emotional intelligence you have to bear with his furious or anger that time, and then you have to deal with it. That is what emotional intelligence means. Empathy means you always have to understand others problem, keeping yourself in their shoes, right? So likewise, even managing the time, the leadership quality, strong, there are various, when people are working from different places, coming from different culture, different background, people are there in different designations in the organization, there are always the chances of conflict, right? All the five fingers are not the same. So how to deal with those conflict, or how to overcome, or how to prevent the conflict? So it is all the attributes of the HR who have to deal with all these problems. So the key attributes of the HR are solid verbal and written communication skill, interpersonal skill, emotional intelligence, empathy. High integrity and discretion means you have to be the HR person has to be very fair, transparent. They should be able to maintain the privacy. They should be able to maintain the, basically what policy has to be shared by everyone, or they should be able to control themselves, taking care of the privacy of each and every employee. So this is what integrity and discretion means. So all these are very important key attributes for an HR. And I hope I'm clear here. Yes, we are going to talk about a few lines about the HR analyst. I'm just coming to it. Now let's talk about the career path in HR, how you can proceed towards the career in HR, which most of the students have asked me here, right? So basically, when we talk about making of the career in HR, we have two lines. One is HR generalist, another is HR specialist, right? Now, HR generalist, the word itself will explain you a lot here. HR generalists are the ones who are going to take care of almost all the functions of the HRM. Say, for example, taking care of the recruitment and selection, taking care of the training and development program, taking care of the compensation management, or taking care of the grievances of the employees, and so on. Basically, HR generalists are the one who are basically going to join the organization in the entry level. Basically, in the entry level, when you are a fresher, you are not a specialist in any one of the function at that particular point of time, because you are a fresher. You have just studied the particular topic or the particular subject. What are the functions of the human resource management? What the compensation manager will do, or what we have to do in hiring the managers. We all have done all this. So basically, the HR generalist will look after all these functions, and they will get trained in all these functions under their seniors. So this is about the HR generalist. And basically, in the small organization, if I talk about the small organization, say, for example, there is an organization where only 30 to 40 employees are there. So in those kind of organization, it is not possible for that organization to hire the HR specialist for every function, because they have a limited number of employees, and even their budget is very less. So for that reason, in the HR department, if you see, they will hardly have one or two people who will be managing the entire function of the human resource management. They will only be taking care of the hiring the employees. They will only be taking care about the orientation or the induction of the employees, introducing the employees in the organization. They will be taking care of the evaluation of the performance of the employees. They will be taking care of the employee engagement programs, how to engage or how to make the employees emotionally connected to the organization. So basically, in the small organization, the role of HR generalist is more, because they are not the one who are going to hire the specialist for every task, because it is not required in very less number of the employees, right? I hope I'm clear. Whatever I've discussed till here from the generalist, I'm going to elaborate it in the upcoming slide. Is it clear till here? Just let me know, right? Okay, now let's come to HR specialist. Now, HR specialists are the ones who have experience basically in a particular field. Basically, what happens, let's take an example of a big organization where thousands of employees are working, right? So in those organizations, what happens is organization needs separate talent acquisition department where their role is only to look after the hiring decisions, which will include analyzing the job and preparing the job description, which means preparing the requirement of the job so that you can post those requirements in the social media or in any of the job platform where the candidates can apply as per the requirement. There, the job of the recruitment specialist will be to prepare the job description and specification, mentioning the minimum qualification required for the particular job. They have to prepare, the requirement of the particular job, the task to be done in that particular job, and that will be posted in the market so that the candidates can apply for it. And after that, their job is to schedule the interviews with the candidates, to screen the resumes, and to conduct the test and the interviews for those candidates. And once the hiring thing is completed, once the candidates are selected, to negotiate the salaries and to provide them the offer letters and to introduce them with the organization. All these programs are looked upon by this particular specialist. So in big organization where every time we need to hire one or the other employee, because you know that in any organization, if 10 number of people are joining, then in one side you can see few employees are even retiring due to their age completion. Few employees are leaving the organization due to any of the reason. Maybe they have got a better opportunity somewhere, or maybe they want to relocate somewhere. So whatever may be the reason, they need to hire the employees again and again. So for that reason, they have to possess the separate department for this particular function. Now, likewise, there are other specialists. Say, for example, let's take an example of compensation management. Now, in compensation management, in a big organization, you need to take care a lot for deciding the compensation of the employees, the remuneration, the salaries of the employees. What are the allowances to be considered? How to design the salary? It should be fair. It should be equitable for all the genders. You also have to consider all the taxation policies, because the government also has made lots of provisions which you have to consider while designing the salaries, right? So for this reason, they need to hire the specialist for it. So now I think you are able to differentiate between the HR specialist and HR generalist. Basically, the generalists are the one who will be taking care of all the functions, whereas the specialists are the one who will be taking care of a particular function, be it the compensation management or a recruitment and selection or the looking after the labor law. So I'm just coming to it once again. Let's talk about HR generalist now.
Seema,
Yes.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Just a heads up for all the people who are attending the session. Please make sure that your messages in the chat box are not personal. You're not revealing any personal information, because you don't know, everyone else who's in the audience. So please be respectful and make sure that your messages are appropriate to the session. If I see any messages that are inappropriate, I will have to block them from the call. So please make note of that. I'm so sorry, Seema. You can continue now.
Yes. I hope the students, whatever I have discussed till now is making some sense to you all. It's clear, right? Yeah. Yes. So that's a great motivation for me if I see some thumbs ups or yes, ma'am, from you all. Okay. So now let's talk about HR generalists in details. As I've already made you understood about the HR generalist, they are the one, basically they are the first hire, when you are not a specialist in a particular field, or for the first time, maybe you are taking the job of an HR as an HR generalist, or even I've given you an example of the small organizations where they are going to look after all the functions of the HR. And after that, if they feel that, okay, I am good in this particular function, or my interest, my passion is in this particular function, then slowly what they can do is they can shift to the specialist. Say for example, you have worked for as an HR generalist in particular company for 1 or 2 years, and after that you have realized that you have a passion in designing the salary or working in a compensation specialist department. So after that, what you all can do is you all can target this particular function, and then you can update yourself. And for updating yourself, you need to nowadays there are lots of courses in the particular department or a particular function. So you need to do some courses, or you need to study or update yourself in that particular field to take that particular job, and then experience will count. The more and more experience you will have in that particular department, the more and more specialist you will become. Because the company, while hiring, what they do is, basically nowadays, those who have a special degree in that particular area will be preferable. But that doesn't mean that you have to possess a special degree in that. Anyone who are a bachelor's or who are the masters may be selected for that position. But you can see lots of supply are there. So in the application screening time, many companies, what they do is they don't consider the ones who are only the bachelors, or who don't have a special degrees. It is only for that. Otherwise, there is no hard and fast rule that you have to possess a particular degree for working in this particular field. I hope I'm clear with these lines. So no, it is not necessary to do MBA to build your career in HR. As I have said, basically what happens is, in our country, where the supply is huge, when the jobs are posted in the market by the companies, they always prefer the MBAs. They prefer the ones who have a special degree in this particular area. But if you get an opportunity to prove yourself, if you are not even MBA, and if you get an opportunity to prove yourself, then of course you can make a career in this particular field without doing the MBA. But one disadvantage is, basically what happens, the applications nowadays, they are screened beforehand by the softwares. So in the softwares, if they have put that those who are not MBA, or those who have not done a particular course, might be any diploma course in HR or any specialized course in HR, then maybe it gets filtered before they interview you. So that is one disadvantage. But there is no hard and fast that you have to do an MBA. But this is, of course, the added advantage to you, right? Now, usually the first HR hire any company makes is the HR generalist. They handle the broad range of responsibilities. As I've already said, that they are not the one who are going to look after a particular specialized activity, but they are the one who are going to look after almost all the functions of the HRM, right? Prerna, if you talk about the different fields of MBA, there are many, right? You can either go for finance, or marketing, or HR, or nowadays there are many. Even they have the courses inside the marketing. There are lot many courses. So we can talk it later on. Right now, let's discuss about this topic. So it covers most of the HR functions, including hiring, compensation, benefits, HR administration, and other tasks. They manages all the day-to-day administrative functions of the human resource policies, procedures, and programs. And most of the entry-level generalist position are often titled as human resource or personal assistant, and support the work of the whole department. So the entry-level position in HR, basically in HR generalist, the title which will be given to you will either be the HR generalist, the HR assistant, or the personal assistant, who will be looking after all the day-to-day ground level activities. Now, the main duties of the HR generalist, some of the functions I've already discussed, like I've already discussed about the recruitment and staffing logistics, or recruitment and selection procedures. I've already discussed about, some of the other functions like compensation management. Apart from that, the role of the HR generalist will be to look after the employee safety, welfare, health, to make the provisions in the company, in the factories, regarding the safety of the employees, how to safeguard the employees, providing them a proper healthcare facilities and the educational facilities in the organization. Apart from that, they also have to take care of the labor laws. As we all know that labor laws are the backbone of any HR, right? Without the knowing the labor law, or without keeping yourself updated with the labor law, you cannot work in this particular department, because whatever the provisions the government has made, you all have to make the policies regarding the human resource or the labors following those labor laws. Whatever policy are drafted in the organization regarding the labors and the employees, maybe the maternity benefits, maybe the safety provisions, or maybe providing them the leave facility, you all have to follow the labor law, which you cannot avoid it because it is mandatory. But if you are not complying any of the labor law, which is mandatory by the government, then the company might be penalized, imprisonment or the fine might imposed to them. So all these works are done by the generalist. They also have to consider the labor law. They have to draft the policy of the organization. They have to maintain the employee relationship, employee-employer relationship. They have to do all the communication in between the employees in the organization. They have to facilitate all the programs or coordinate the meetings in the organization. So all these functions are looked upon by the HR generalist. Now the job titles which the HR generalist get are Chief HR Officer, CHRO, HR Business Partner, People Service Manager, or HR Generalist. You might get any of these designations. It differs from the company to company. It depends upon the designations which you are getting. So CHRO is the highest level of designation within HR. They are the one who will be making the strategies in the organization. They are the one who have several years of experience in the field of HR, and who will be designing the policies of the organization, who will be making the big strategies, who will be working with the senior level person in the organization. Now let's come to the important topic, HR business partner. I hope you all have heard about it. Basically, HR business partner's role is different. They are not the regular employee of the organization. What happens is, let's take an example. Say, for example, I am working in HR since many years, and now I have become specialized in HR. Now I can, be an advisor. I can make the strategies, and I have lots of knowledge in making those strategies. So what I can do is I can become a consultant. I can open up my own, consultancy, and I will be hired by the organization for making some policies, for helping them for making the strategies. So basically what will happen is I will be a business partner for them. They will hire me. Say, for example, one company has hired me as an HR business partner to help them for designing the compensation. They might not have a separate department for the compensation handling. So they are hiring me. And this is a most popular way. कंपनीज क्या करती है, वो बाहर वाले कंसल्टेंसी को हायर करती है, अपने पास जो रेगुलर एचआर है वो तो है, बट दे आर हायरिंग द स्पेशलाइज्ड एक्सपीरियंस्ड पीपल फ्रॉम आउटसाइड एंड टेकिंग देयर एडवाइसेस फॉर डिसीजन मेकिंग, for making the strategies, and they will deal with the senior level employees in the organization. They are not responsible for the day-to-day administrative work, and they are not looking the day-to-day function of the HR, which are looked upon by HR managers. So that is the difference between the HR manager and HR business partner. HR business partner आप हायर करते हो कुछ टाइम के लिए, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बेसिस में हो या फिर कुछ टाइम के बेसिस में हो, आप उनसे कुछ रूल्स बनवाते हो, स्ट्रैटेजीज बनवाते हो, उनसे हेल्प लेते हो, एडवाइसेस लेते हो और उनको पेमेंट देते हो. दोज आर द HR business partner, right? Now coming to HR generalist, we have already talked, and people service manager is about serving the people, interacting with the people. So it's all the same. Now let's come to the next topic, that is human resource specialist. I hope whatever I have discussed from the HR generalist is clear. We will talk about the points which you all have typed in the chat box. Don't you all worry. After I complete with this session of mine, we will have a question answer round. There you can put up all these questions and we will be taking your questions one by one, right? I hope it will help you all. Yeah.
Also, I see a lot of students here who had questions about courses and XYZ. So Internshala also has, a placement guarantee course of their own. And if you're interested in learning more about it, I have just posted the link to the form. I'll do that again, and you can go and fill up the form, and our counselors will get in touch with you. So just a heads up for all the audience. And Seema, you can continue now.
Yes, Sagun. Yes, so Sagun has rightly said that even Internshala also conduct the courses in HR where you will be getting a good idea about this particular topic. We will be discussing it at the end of the session. And as he has already given you the link, you can fill up the forms and then the counselor will get in touch with you. They will help you regarding your queries, right? And now let's come to the HR specialist. As I've already told you that after having some experiences, people would love to work as a particular specialist. Say, for example, I love working in a labor law because I have a good competency in the labor law. I have a good knowledge in the labor law. So if I have a knowledge in the labor law, if some company has posted the job that they require a person, HR person who are having a good background in HR and who are having a good knowledge of the labor law. So if you are having a good knowledge in the labor law, so you can apply for the interview, and in the interviews, you will be asked the questions related to the labor law. What are the latest amendments in the labor law? What are the latest updations the government has made in the labor law? What leave facilities are there for the maternity benefits? Or, there are so many questions which they can put you in the labor law. So likewise, there are different specialist departments, and in the large organization, it is not possible for 1 or 2 person to handle the entire HRM functions. So for these reasons, they create the separate specialist department within the HR department. So one important is talent acquisition specialist. This is a very, very important department in any HR. They are the one who takes care of hiring the candidates, the suitable candidates from outside the organization. And whenever we talk about the talent acquisition specialist, it is not only about posting the job. It is not only about conducting the interviews for them, but the role of this specialist is much more than this. And if you take up the course here, we will be dealing with all these functions in details in our course, okay? So because here I have a constraint of time, I cannot elaborate everything here in this 1 hour. So if you all want to go in much detail about all these topics, we can you can enroll for the course, or you can contact any other institute or whatever it is. It's all up to you. We can go in details likewise. Anyways, in the talent acquisition specialist, basically, the role is right from preparing the job description, the job specification, right from knowing about the job, what are the requirements of the job, and accordingly, recruiting them or posting the job requirement in the various sources of the recruitment, maybe the LinkedIn or maybe the Glassdoor or maybe any other media or any other forms, and then attracting the candidates to apply for the job, to make them, apply for the job, and then screening their resumes and then scheduling the interviews, conducting the various tests, even the medical examination, offering them the letter, negotiating the salary, everything comes under the talent acquisition specialist department. Likewise, learning and development specialist, their focus is basically in the development of each employee, because it is very much necessary to develop each employee's caliber so that they can perform to the best of their abilities. Compensation and benefit specialists who will be looking after designing of the salary as per the compliance of the labor law, making it in such a way that every employee should feel motivated in the organization. They should feel that they are getting the salary as per the market standard. And HR analytics. So many people were asking me about HR analytics. So HR analytics also has a very bright career. Basically, this is the function of the HR where, the analyst will be collecting the data from the various departments in the organization, and they will be studying the data to find out the reasons of the problems and solutions of the problem. Say, for example, there is a very high attrition in the organization. I hope you all understand what attrition is. There is very high turnover in the organization. Many employees are leaving the organization this year. Say, for example, 40% employees are leaving the organization or putting their resignation in the organization. So for that reason, you need to find out, the cause, the root cause of it. So the role of the HR analyst is to find out those root cause. Why is it happening? And to give the solutions regarding it. They will conduct the various analyses. There are various ways of analysis. And then they will come to the conclusion that these are the reason. They will study the data, they will conduct the use the various formulas, they will calculate, they will also use the numerical calculations, and they will come to the solution that these are the reasons of this cause, and then they will provide the solutions, or they will advise the solutions in the organization. This is one of the example I've given. So this is what the HR analytics does. Basically, they are the one who are going to study the data, past data, present data of the HR. What was the trend in the organization? Agar last year किसी ने job छोड़ा था तो कितने person ने छोड़ा था? What is the trend going on? So that they can find out the root cause. Apart from that, I've already talked about the labor law specialist or the industrial relations specialist. They are the one who are going to handle the conflict management. They are the one who are going to build the good relationship among the employee, employer, among the colleagues in the organization. They are the one who will be taking care of the changes in the labor law, looking after every policies of the organization, whether they are in compliance with the labor laws or not, right? So this is about HRM, HR specialist. Now, some common roles within HR, we have already talked about HR generalist. We are already clear about the roles of the HR generalist. And HR generalist is a largely tactical role with a broad knowledge of human resource functions, from hiring to onboarding and from employee compensation to evaluation. So their role is about looking after the onboarding, looking after the, introducing them to the culture of the organization, making them feel comfortable in the organization, and ensuring the labor law compliances in the organization. Basically, the HR generalists look after all the functions of the human resource management. Siksha, now, after a while, after a few minutes, we will be taking your questions. So I'll be looking into your questions later on, after 5 minutes, right? Can a person directly do a specialized HR course, or he or she has to become a generalist or HR? Yes, of course. Anybody can do a specialized course before they join any organization. Say, for example, you already are MBA and in HR, and now you have a very good passion in working in a labor law or in a compensation or so on. So you can do a specialized courses. Nowadays, lots of courses are provided to you by different colleges, different institutions, different organizations. So if you have done it, that would be an added benefit for you, because you will update yourself and you will be able to qualify the interview, and it will also add to your resume that it will give a weightage to your resume that you have done a specialized course in this particular this. And somebody has asked me, organization psychology, is it related to HR? Yes, of course, psychology is related to HR, because let me tell you, when we are talking about HR, we are talking about human being, right? They are the ones who are going to deal with the human, with the laborers, with the employees who are coming from the diverse environment, right? So HR has to understand the psychology of every individual. Every individual are not the same. Say, for example, one person is coming from the northeastern region of the country and another person is coming from South India. So the HR has to be able to understand the psychology of the person who are coming from the northeastern India and the psychology of the person who are coming from South India, because both are born and brought up in a different environment, different culture. They have a different beliefs, different attitudes, because you get the beliefs and attitudes from the environment, from where you have done your studies, from where you have born and brought up. So the HR has to be able to understand the psychology to some extent. It will be again be an added advantage, because that will help you to improve your emotional intelligence. आप उनके चेहरे देख के समझ सकते हो कि उनके अंदर क्या चल रहा है. अगर एक लेबर आपके पास गुस्सा होके आता है, तो आप समझ सकते हो कि अच्छा ये लेबर है, बहुत ज्यादा पढ़ा लिखा नहीं है, तो इसकी साइकोलॉजी क्या हो सकती है, मुझे कैसे डील करना है इसके साथ. Are you getting my point? I hope I have answered your question. So the psychology will help you a lot dealing with the HR. Okay. Now let's come to HR manager. The responsibilities of the HR manager is again to look after the compliance of the labor law, to handle all the specialists, the generalists, those who are in all the different positions in the HR. Say, for example, somebody might be in a lower level of HR assistant, somebody might be in other positions in the HR. So the HR manager is on top of them, who will be looking after all those people who are working within the HR, right? Now coming to HR director, who will be in the upper position of the HR manager. Basically, the role of the director is to make the strategies of the organization, big strategies, what kind of policies are to be made in the organization, so that every employees will accept it. And the director has to consider the bigger picture. they have to consider the equality, the gender equality, the diversity and inclusivity. As you know, many people are coming from the different backgrounds, so they should feel inclusivity, because everybody is not same, right? Everybody are different. They are different in their look wise, they are different in their thinking, they are different in their education, they are different in their culture. So you know, everybody, when they have entered the organization, they should feel inclusivity. Diversity is always preferred, because people coming from different backgrounds, different society, different culture will put innovation in the organization. सबकी अब अपनी thinking है, वो अब अपने innovations लेकर आएंगे. So diversity should always be there, but it should be with inclusivity. Everybody should feel one in the organization, and it is the role of the director to consider all these factors, and to think about the motivational factors among the employees, to plan the incentive programs, the benefits, the recreational facilities, to plan all those policies in the organization. All these are looked by the HR directors. And another position is CHRO. This is also more or less the same what directors are doing. Basically, they are in the topmost position, looking after the strategies, looking after making the policies of the compensation policy, making the recruitment policy. हमें recruitment कैसे करना है, कौन से way से करना है, compensation कैसे design करना है, how to save the taxes. You know, all these policies are for made by the CHROs. So these are the common roles in the HR. Right? So you can see, I have already said you at the starting of the class that the one who are making the career in HR, right from starting with the HR assistant, they might become a CEO, future CEO of any company. So this is an example. Meet Mary Barra, the CEO of General Motors. She started her career as an intern at General Motors and worked her way up through various roles, including in HR. She held position like Executive Director of Human Resources before becoming CEO in 2014. So these all are the examples. She was a CEO of General Motors. And next is Ajay Banga. Although he is not totally from the HR background, but he has served for many years in the HR role. Ajay Banga, the former CEO of MasterCard, held roles in HR during his early career. His diverse experience contributed to his leadership at MasterCard. So this is also one of the good examples. And one more example, let's meet TV Narendran. He held significant HR roles in Tata Steel before becoming its CEO. He served as the Vice President of Human Resource, India and Southeast Asia, and later as the Vice President of HR for Tata Steel Europe. So these all are some examples who started their career in HR and who served as a CEO of topmost companies. So this is how you can, plan the career in HR. So now over to Sagun once.
Sure. Thank you, Seema. I hope your audience ko, the way you explained it in such an elaborate manner, I hope you the value, derive kari ho from everything that you were talking about. And before we go on to the Q&A round, there is, a really interesting opportunity that I wanted to talk to the audience about. जब हमने सेशन शुरू किया था, I saw a lot of क्वेश्चंस कि मैम कोई एचआर कोर्स करके क्या हम करियर स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं, डिप्लोमा करके या कोई कोर्स करके, कोई सर्टिफिकेशन करके. एंड द आंसर टू ऑल ऑफ दोस इज ऑफ कोर्स यस. Internshala trainings itself has a program of their own. We call it the Human Resource Management Placement Guarantee course. So a placement guarantee, so I'm sure आप समझ गए होंगे what does that mean. It is a job guarantee course, which means that after you've completed your session the best you can, we promise you a job at the end of your course. It's a very relatively shorter course. If you even do a diploma course ho gaya, if you do a degree, in itself, that's like a year or 2 year, 3 year. However, we are offering you a very, very similar and competitive offer in just 4 months. So that you have to understand the value of that. Now, of course, we have kitni sari skills discuss kari. We talked about HR analytics, branding, HRIS, employee engagement. So all of these skills that are really important for you to become, to be at par when it comes to HR. We'll be teaching you, of course, all of it. And our faculty actually includes Ms. Seema. So she's one of our instructors. We also have Gitika Singh and we have Tripta Singh. If you want to know more about them, they have a really, celebrated, or I'd say, history in their career journey. However, if you don't, hota hai kabhi kabhi, like I'm from the Internshala training team, so you might not believe me, but you should go and check out their LinkedIn. You should check out their profiles, see what they have to offer you, and then make your decision when it comes to a course. Moving on, of course, it's not just about the faculty, it's not just about the course. How are we going to conduct the course is a really important factor. You will have a mix of live classes and recorded lectures. So, if you're a student, of course, you'll have access to your recorded lectures. And if you're graduated and you're not currently doing anything right now, you have your live classes. You have a combination of both. You'll have your assignments, tests. You'll learn so many skills. You'll be creating projects of your own that आप अपने portfolio में add कर सकते हैं. So this is a community-based learning, and there is just so much that the course offers you. Also, a really interesting point is that we offer certifications not only from the Internshala trainings but also from the National Skill Development Council of India. So that again, when you get a government certification, that is really something that to be proud of. So these are some of the features, and if you're interested in in the course, and even if you're not interested, you just want to know what it's about, please make sure that you're filling up the form that I am going to be sending in the group. So she has a question. Yes, of course, Srishti, you can. Agar aap ek student hai, you can go for this course. If you have graduated and you're looking for something to start your career, you can go for the course. If you're already working, aap kisi aur domain mein hai, aapko career switch karna hai, we have a lot of students jo tech background se hai ya marketing se hai, they're doing the course and now they're in HRM. So please make sure that don't take my word for it. Go on LinkedIn, go on the internet, search about the course, see our stories, and make sure you're making an informed decision. So that's all about the course. And please make sure to fill out the form that I'll be sending shortly. And now we can move on to the Q&A. So agar aapke paas koi bhi question hai, please make sure you're dropping it in the chat box and fill out the form that I'll be sending. Thank you so much. Thank you, Seema.
Thank you, Sagun. Yes, somebody has asked me, is it possible to do work from home job permanently in HRM? Srishti, yes, there are lots of opportunities for work from home in HRM. Say, for example, you can take my example. I am currently doing work from home, right? Currently, I'm taking even this webinar from home. So basically, I'm taking the online classes from home. So basically nowadays, there are a hybrid culture in many companies, or many companies are also offering work from home opportunities. So it depends upon the company or the role which you are taking. But yes, you have an opportunity for working from home in HR. You have this opportunity, right? Vikas has written, can we get this PDF? Sagun, I think you will be better answering this question.
Unfortunately, no, although we're recording this session, but we will not be providing, the recording or the PDF for now. So I hope that you've paid attention in the session. But we'll look into it in future sessions for sure.
Okay. Okay, Srishti, for lifetime, see, I cannot tell you because the environment is very dynamic. Sometimes we feel that, office नाम की कोई चीज ही नहीं रह जाएगी, सब कुछ अब अपने घर से ही हो जाएगा. ये जब when I was doing MBA, तब हमें हमारे टीचर कहते थे कि एक टाइम ऐसा आएगा कि ऑफिस की बिल्डिंग जो ये इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है इसकी जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगी, दिस स्पेस विल नॉट बी रिक्वायर्ड. बट दैट टाइम इट वाज, आई डोंट नो क्या है, क्या सर के ऊपर से जाता था. बट नाउ आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड दिस कि अभी जो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस है, ये जो अपडेशन है, टेक्नोलॉजी है, इससे बहुत सारी चीजें, even after COVID, lot many things has changed. So I cannot assure you whether for lifetime it can be from home or not. It depends upon the company and what role you are playing, right? So somebody has asked me about doing MBA in HR. Basically, see, if you have an interest in HR, and if you should always ask yourself what qualities or what attributes you have. Whatever attributes are required for HR, are you having that? Are you having a good listening skill, or are you interested in that? Or even you have to check with you about your passion. If you are interested in dealing with the human being, if you are interested in understanding the human being and controlling or managing the human being, of course, you can, make your career in this particular field. It is all about interest. Whenever somebody asks me that whether there is an opportunity or not, opportunity is always there. Right. I have also shown you that, they can also, any person who is from the HR background even can become a CEO of any company. So Yes, of course, if you are interested in this particular field, then you have lots of opportunity, but you have to keep yourself updated. Only studying one time will not help you, because the environment, the world is dynamic. You have to keep on updating yourself with the latest HR terminologies, with the latest labor laws and everything. You have to keep yourself always updated. So what degree is needed to be a HR is BSc Act. So basically, whether you are from BSc, BA, or BCom, that does not matter. What matters is, first of all, are you really interested in working in HR, and are you doing any course, or have you updated yourself? Say, for example, you have done BSc, you have learned science. So if you have not learned HR from any other place, or if you are not doing any masters in HR, then of course it would be difficult for you to work in HR, because you have not studied it. But after doing BSc, if you want to switch, if you want to work in HR, then you have to switch. You have to do a course in HR, either be it short term or long term, or you have to do some degree courses, or you have to update yourself in HR, so that you can answer, or you can understand the questions. So this is how you can always switch your career to HR. Either you are from engineering background, or you are from any other background, because you can, if you browse, you can see lot many successful CEO who were from this engineering background. Later on, they did their MBA in HR, or they did some courses, or they worked in HR. With their experiences, they started getting promoted in this particular department, and someday they became a CEO of the company. So it is not necessary that you have to be from a management field. But of course, if you are from the management field, that is an added advantage to you, because you have already studied a lot about the HR. But if you haven't, you don't have to worry. Nowadays, even be it Internshala or any other organization, they are providing lot many courses, PGDM courses in HR, or the short term or a long term courses in HR. If you do all these courses, and if you update yourself, then you can obviously switch your career in HR, right? Actually, as fresher, I got some job recruiter in placement consultancy. Is it good for my career growth or not? Actually, it depends, right? What kind of internship you have got, and what performance you are giving there. It all depends. Of course, it is good. If you are a fresher, and if you are getting some recruiter job in any placement consultancy, or if you are getting an opportunity of, any internship, it is always good. You will get to learn something, right? And then from there you will gain some experience, and while working there, you can side by side, you can update yourself with the latest HR thing, and you can also try other opportunities. So likewise, only you have to move. Whatever you get initially, you should always take it, so that you learn something from there. आप कुछ भी कर लो, आप कुछ ना कुछ सीखोगे ही. You will learn something, right? And as a fresher, I always suggest the students, don't go behind the salary. What role you are playing, and who are your mentors, and are you really able to learn there? आप अगर सीख पा रहे हो वहां पे काम करके, then you should continue with it. क्योंकि धीरे धीरे साल 6 महीने में आपके एक्सपीरियंस, आपका रेज्यूमे का वेटेज बढ़ जाएगा, that you have worked as a recruiter for a year. ऐसे करके करके आपके वेटेज बढ़ते हैं, and you come to know in the market what is happening. But you cannot leave it. You have to keep updating yourself. Are you getting my point? Srishti, regarding the distance learning course in MBA, there are a lot many universities who are providing the distance learning. I don't want to name any here. Sagun, is Internshala also providing?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat yourself?
Is Internshala also providing the MBA course?
No, we're not providing MBA course as of now. We only have short-term courses and our placement guarantee courses, which are slightly longer duration courses. But for the foreseeable future, we don't have an MBA course. I hope that clears the doubt.
Yeah. But every university are providing the distance learning course, as per your question right now. How can we use new technology? But yes, I always suggest, if somebody is planning for the MBA, they should sit for the entrance exam. They should prepare themselves for the CAT or MAT. And again, here also, don't take me the other way that I'm advertising Internshala. But yes, of course, if you do some short-term courses here before doing your MBA, this will utilize your time while you are preparing for your entrance, while you are planning, whether I should go for MBA in HR or not. With this short-term course, you can again it will help you to make a decision whether you should really go for MBA in HR or not, whether you should really invest that amount in MBA in HR or not, because here you will get to learn a lot. So it will be a decision making place which will make your decision more simple, and it will help you further in your MBA, right? Okay, some good opportunities for HRM. Yeah, there are lots of opportunities in HRM. Basically, if you want to, try in the PSUs, like अगर आप PSU वगैरह में IOCL, GAIL वगैरह में try करना चाहते हो, तो what you all can do is you all can, sit for the net examination. You can take up the course, short-term courses where you can learn more about the subject. Say for example, आपने यहाँ पे course किया, यहाँ पे 4 महीने आपने course में कुछ पढ़ा, side by side आपने, net की तैयारी की. In net examination, this knowledge will help you a lot. And after that, if you sit for those examinations, then it will be easy for you to get into those organizations, because those organizations are taking the candidates who already have clarified net examination, cleared net examination. So basically, other opportunities, if you see, there are many opportunities in every startups. In the startup, if you are getting some opportunity, you should always grab it, because you never know when you are going to excel in that particular department. You may have a key attributes in it, right? So this is how you can begin. I am currently working as an HR executive, so how will I grow my career rapidly? For that, Srishti, of course, you have to focus in 2 to 3 things. First of all, you have to keep yourself updated with all the HR changes, all the labor law changes, and you have to, always get ready to sit for the interviews which are going to come in the market. Whatever opportunity, whatever vacancy comes in the market, you have to always be ready for answering those questions. So you have to update yourself. Secondly, you should be able to look for the opportunities in the market. कैसे कहाँ पे opportunity मिलती है? You can join the groups in the LinkedIn. You can always browse the sites, job sites, right? And you should always try for whether you are going to join that job or not, but you should sit for the interviews. You'll come to know what kind of questions are asked, what kind of works are done. And wherever you are working as an HR executive, if you feel that that company is also good, you should prove yourself working in a better way. So you will be getting promotion in that particular company. So Rajshree has written, as a HR recruiter in placement consultancies environment is like telecalling, voice process. I'm not happy to work there. I want to grow with this career, but I can't get right direction. Yes, of course, in the starting, many companies, what they are doing is they will tell you to, call the candidates and then just talk to them and then schedule the interview. If you feel that they are the right candidate, you have to schedule the interviews for them, right? But yes, of course, initially for a time being, you should do it. This will help you. You take everything positively. You take it as this is improving your communication skill, because you are always interacting with the people outside in the market. But aside, what you have to do is you have to search better opportunities for you, and you also have to try to promote yourself in that particular company. If you will do better in that particular position, then the company might give you more responsibilities in upcoming future. Side by side, you can plan for some other opportunities. But whatever you are doing, don't get fed up initially. Try to take it positively, that this is helping you get connected with the people. आप LinkedIn में इतने post डाल रहे हो, call कर रहे हो, you are getting connected with the people, and sometimes you never know, where you are going to get a better opportunity, right? How can we use new technology like AI in HR? Because AI will help you a lot in HRM. Like say, for example, in ChatGPT, you are asked to make a job description. Say, for example, you are working in talent acquisition field and you are asked to make a job description, right? आपको कहा गया है कि जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन बनाओ कि ये रोल होना चाहिए और क्या क्या क्वालिफिकेशन चाहिए, इसको फ्रेम करना है. या फिर आपने कोई बहुत अच्छा ईमेल अपने कैंडिडेट्स को या किसी भी एम्प्लॉय को या किसी पार्टनर को लिखना है या कुछ करना है, यू कैन टेक द हेल्प ऑफ द आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस फॉर क्रिएटिंग द प्रेजेंटेशन इन ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट, फॉर नोइंग द की टर्मिनोलॉजीज और फॉर प्रिपेयरिंग द जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शंस एंड स्पेसिफिकेशंस. They will help you in formatting it in a more better way. You can take the help of ChatGPT or any Tome app, or there are many for improving your communication. The Udly app will help you a lot. HRM में हम कहते हैं कि communication बहुत अच्छा होना चाहिए. आपको बहुत बार presentations देने होते हैं. So for that reason, if you are not a good speaker, if you feel कि मुझे speaking practice करनी है, you can follow the app like udly.ai. These are the common apps which will help you, artificial intelligence which will help you in HRM. I hope I have answered your question.
Seema, we've already crossed, our time limit. It's
Yes.
already 9. So I see a lot of questions. Please don't worry. We're planning on conducting more of these sessions. So if your questions haven't been answered now, please don't worry. We'll be organizing more of these, and you'll get ample amount of opportunities to clear all of your doubts. But I think that it's a good time for us to wrap the session. It's already been an hour. So I'd just love to thank everyone जो यहाँ पे आए हैं. It's a weekday. I know आप लोग अपने colleges, अपने work से थक गए होंगे, but you want to clearly, grow in your career, and so you're here. So thank you for being here and giving us your time. Thank you, Seema. Thank you so much. The session was amazing. I can see that the students really learned a lot. And the fact that they have so many questions. At starting, I could see there are very limited questions, but now they're coming up with new questions. So it means that you've really opened up their minds to a lot of different, topics. So thank you for doing that. And okay, so she's asking this one question again and again. See, I think you mentioned an app that she wants to know about.
Which app? Let me see what question it is. Which
She's-
app, ma'am? Say.
Yeah.
Okay, for your public speaking, you can use udly.ai. There is ChatGPT for creating your contents. And there is Tom app, which will help you even for creating the presentation. Okay, this will simplify your work and this will give you lots of idea for creating the presentations.
Okay, great. So with this, we've come to the end of the session. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Agar, like I said, if you want to learn more about the course, if you want to, get an opportunity to start your career or switch your career, make sure you're checking out our course on our website and also filling up the form that I just sent. Our counselors will be calling you, getting in touch with you, understanding कि आपके career को अभी क्या ज़रूरत है, and we'll be going forward accordingly. And I believe it's a good time to wrap the session. So thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next session. Good night.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sagun, and thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.